What if I told you that your heart could orgasm? Not just in a poetic, metaphorical way, but in a real, physical, and energetic way that expands your entire being. Most people think of orgasm as something that's just physical, something that happens in the lower chakras and stays there. But what if that energy could rise? What if, instead of just a fleeting moment of pleasure, it could completely transform you mentally, emotionally, even spiritually? Tantric sages, mystics, and energy practitioners across different traditions have described an experience so profound. It doesn't just feel good, it awakens something deep inside you. A sensation of boundless love, divine ecstasy, and an overwhelming connection to something greater than yourself. This isn't just an abstract idea. It's a real, tangible experience that many have tapped into, an orgasm that doesn't drain you, but expands you. And in this video, we're going to break it all down. What exactly is a heart orgasm? What happens when your orgasmic energy reaches the heart? And how can you experience this for yourself? By the end of this video, you'll understand why this might just be the most powerful form of pleasure, healing, and spiritual awakening you've ever experienced. Most people only think of orgasm in one way, a sharp peak of pleasure, localized in the lower body, intense but short-lived. That's the kind of orgasm most of us are familiar with. The energy builds, reaches a climax, and then fades away, often leaving a sense of emptiness or depletion. But a heart orgasm is completely different. Instead of being a concentrated burst of energy, it's expansive. It's full body. It's not just a moment of pleasure, it's an unfolding. A continuous wave that can last for minutes, hours, sometimes even days. Instead of feeling like something rushing up and then disappearing, it feels like something opening, like an inner door unlocking, spilling warmth, electricity, and deep bliss throughout the entire being. Some people describe it as waves of energy rippling through the chest, arms, throat, even the third eye, a pleasure that moves beyond the body, expanding into something far greater. It's not just physical, it's deeply energetic. It doesn't just feel good, it feels profound, like something ancient being reawakened inside you. Ancient traditions understood this. In Egyptian mythology, the goddess Hathor was said to be the bringer of divine pleasure, not the fleeting kind, but a deep, cosmic bliss that expanded the heart and soul. She wasn't just the goddess of love, she was the embodiment of ecstatic states, the kind that could connect a person to the divine. The Taoists spoke of a sacred energy rising from the heart, often depicted as a golden lotus blooming from the chest, unfolding into endless waves of pleasure. They believed that true orgasmic bliss wasn't meant to be locked in the lower chakras. It was meant to rise, to transform, to become something greater. And this isn't just a mystical concept, it's something you can actually feel. Imagine the moment of a deep emotional release, like finally crying after holding something in for years. That moment when everything breaks open, and instead of feeling weighed down, you feel lighter, relieved, free. Now imagine that feeling, but instead of sadness, it's pure euphoric ecstasy. It's not a quick release that fades. It lingers. It radiates. It expands through every part of you, like liquid warmth spreading from the inside out. Soft but powerful, gentle but all-encompassing. Instead of pleasure being something you chase, it becomes something you exist within, a state of being, rather than just a fleeting sensation. And the most incredible part? It doesn't take effort. It happens naturally when the heart is open enough to receive it. For some, it happens spontaneously, triggered by deep connection, meditation, or energy work. For others, it's something they learn to cultivate through breath, touch, and intention. But regardless of how it happens, one thing is certain: it changes you. Once you've experienced it, you realize that pleasure was never meant to be limited to the body. It was always meant to be a gateway. And the best part, anyone can access this. So how exactly does it work? And how can you experience it for yourself? Let's break it down. Most people don't realize that the heart is far more than just an organ. It's a second brain, a powerful intelligence center that communicates directly with the mind, the nervous system, and even the electromagnetic field surrounding your body. This is why a heart orgasm doesn't just feel good, it changes you. The heart contains over 40,000 sensory neurons, forming a direct pathway to the brain. This means that when orgasmic energy reaches the heart, it's not just a sensation, it's an entire rewiring of your consciousness. The nervous system shifts into deep relaxation, a state where the body naturally heals, regenerates, and opens to higher frequencies of energy. Unlike traditional orgasms, which cause a rapid peak and then a drop, heart orgasms flood the body with oxytocin, dopamine, and endorphins, creating a profound sense of safety, expansion, and emotional openness. This is why people often describe waves of love, spontaneous tears, or even mystical visions when experiencing them. It's as if the body and soul suddenly align, allowing a person to tap into something far beyond the physical. But there's something even more fascinating at play, because heart orgasms don't just transform your emotions, they actually expand your energetic field. Heart orgasms expand your electromagnetic field. The heart is the strongest source of electromagnetic energy in the human body. Its field extends several feet beyond the physical form, constantly interacting with the environment and those around us. Now, during a normal emotional state, the heart's electromagnetic field is already powerful. But during deep states of bliss, especially heart orgasms, this field can expand up to 5 times larger than normal. Think about what this means. This expansion isn't just a metaphor, it's an actual measurable shift in the energy you radiate. Your presence becomes more magnetic. Your thoughts carry more weight. Your ability to manifest, to attract, to influence reality becomes amplified. This is why so many ancient traditions understood the connection between heart energy and manifestation. Tantric practitioners believed that sexual energy wasn't just about pleasure, it was the highest form of creative power, capable of reshaping reality itself. Kabbalists described the heart center as a gateway, a bridge between the lower and higher worlds. Taoist sages taught that energy cultivated in the heart had the power to extend one's life, strengthen intuition, and even awaken dormant psychic abilities. And now, modern research is beginning to prove what the ancients always knew. Your emotional and energetic state is directly linked to the frequency you emit into the world. When the heart is flooded with orgasmic energy, it moves beyond the body, beyond the mind. It expands into the very fabric of existence, influencing what you attract and how you interact with the universe. It's no surprise, then, that those who consistently practice heart energy activation report experiencing more synchronicities, moments where reality seems to align in almost impossible ways, heightened intuition, a deep instinctive knowing without logical explanation, effortless attraction. Whether it's relationships, opportunities, or abundance, things seem to flow with less resistance. This is because the heart, when fully activated, is a beacon. It transmits and receives energy on an entirely different level. How to know you're unlocking a heart orgasm. For those who have never experienced this, it can be subtle at first, like a soft warmth, a quiet expansion, a feeling of something shifting just beneath the surface. But there are clear signs that a heart orgasm is beginning to unlock within you. One of the first things people report is a sudden deep warmth or tingling in the chest, as if energy is gathering there, preparing to expand outward. Some describe the sensation of lightness, weightlessness, or even floating, almost as if their body is dissolving into space. Others feel a rush of love, joy, or euphoria for no reason at all, sometimes even accompanied by spontaneous laughter or tears. One of the most unique sensations is a distinct pulsing or pressure between the shoulder blades, right at the back of the heart chakra. In many energy traditions, this is seen as a powerful gateway. When the energy begins to build here, it's a sign that heart expansion is happening at a deep level. And the more you cultivate this energy, the more powerful and effortless it becomes. So how can you tap into this experience for yourself? How do you move from simply hearing about heart orgasms to actually feeling one? Let's break it down step by step. A heart orgasm isn't just a physical sensation, it's an altered state of consciousness, one that has been described by mystics, sages, and spiritual practitioners as one of the most profound experiences a person can have. This isn't just poetic language. In many ways, a heart orgasm is like a naturally occurring psychedelic experience, except instead of being triggered by an external substance, it's activated internally. People who have experienced this describe visions of golden light, celestial sounds, or an overwhelming sense of expansion, as if their consciousness is no longer confined to the body. Some say it feels like melting into everything, as if the boundary between self and the universe dissolves. In deep esoteric traditions, there are references to a moment of divine rapture, a state where the soul is lifted beyond the earthly plane, beyond duality, beyond the physical self. Some mystics believe that this is the true meaning of the rapture in esoteric Christianity, not a literal ascension, but an inner transformation where the body is flooded with divine energy, opening a direct channel to higher realms. This isn't just an energetic shift, it's a profound healing process. Heart orgasms are a gateway to deep emotional healing. For many people, heart orgasms bring up something unexpected: tears. Not from sadness, but from a deep, spontaneous release of energy that had been trapped inside for years, maybe even lifetimes. Some describe feeling old heartbreaks dissolve instantly, as if the energy that had been stuck in their heart is finally set free. Others experience waves of pure, overwhelming love, sometimes so intense that they cry without even knowing why. This is because the nervous system is literally rewiring itself to accept pleasure as safety. So many of us are conditioned to believe that pleasure is something temporary, something that will be taken away, or something we don't fully deserve. But when the heart experiences a true orgasm, it rewrites that belief at a deep level, teaching the body that pleasure isn't something to fear. It's something we were meant to experience, something we were meant to live in. In Tantra, this moment is called the return to the source. It's the moment when the soul remembers. It remembers that it was never separate from divine bliss. It remembers that love is not something to be given or received, it's something that is. It's the essence of what we are. But the effects of a heart orgasm go even further, because once this energy expands, it doesn't just transform the inner world, it starts to shape external reality as well. Heart orgasms are directly linked to manifestation and divine connection. A fully activated heart chakra vibrates in harmony with universal frequencies. This means that the moment the heart enters a state of deep bliss, it begins to resonate with the frequency of creation itself. This is why those who experience heart orgasms often report experiencing spontaneous manifestations, things they've desired for years, suddenly flowing into their lives effortlessly. Many high-level magicians, occultists, and energy masters have said the same thing. Deep states of bliss magnetize desires effortlessly, not through force, not through effort, but through pure resonance. Because when the heart is truly open, you stop chasing, you just attract. Everything you seek, love, abundance, connection, it's already moving toward you. The moment the heart expands, it becomes a gravitational force, pulling in everything that aligns with its vibration. And this is just the beginning. Because once you've tapped into this energy, once you've felt this expansion, it changes the way you move through the world forever. So how do you take this from an abstract idea to a real lived experience? How do you consciously cultivate this energy and allow it to transform you? Let's go deeper. A heart orgasm is one of the most profound experiences a person can have, but for many, reaching this state isn't always easy. Some people try breathwork, meditation, or even Tantra, but still feel blocked. So before diving into the exact techniques, let's start with the biggest obstacles that can prevent heart orgasms from unfolding naturally. If you've ever tried to tap into heart energy but felt nothing, or if you've had glimpses of deep bliss but couldn't hold on to them, it's likely due to one of four major blocks. The first block is an overactive mind. If the mind is too active, constantly analyzing, anticipating, or trying to force an experience, the body won't fully surrender into pleasure. Heart orgasms happen in a state of openness, not control. If you find your thoughts racing, practice slowing your breathing and bringing awareness into the chest. The second block is a closed or blocked heart chakra. This often happens when there's unresolved emotional pain, especially from heartbreak, rejection, or grief. If this energy hasn't been processed, it can feel difficult to let the heart expand fully. The key is to use breathwork and sound to gently open the heart without force, something we'll cover in a moment. The third block is stored trauma in the body, especially related to sexual energy. If there's been past trauma, whether emotional or physical, the body might associate deep pleasure with fear or tension. This is completely natural, and the solution isn't to push through it, but to work with it gently. Moving energy through breath and sound can slowly create a sense of safety within the nervous system, allowing bliss to flow naturally over time. And finally, the fourth block is a fear of surrender. True heart expansion requires letting go, allowing energy to move rather than controlling it. But if surrender feels unsafe, the body instinctively resists the experience. This is why heart orgasms aren't just about technique, they're about trust. Trust in yourself, trust in the energy, trust in the natural intelligence of the body. Now that we've covered the most common blocks, let's go into the most effective techniques to awaken the heart and fully experience this energy. One of the most powerful ways to activate the heart center is through a breathwork method known as the golden breath. Unlike standard deep breathing, this technique follows a specific rhythm designed to generate heat in the heart chakra and circulate energy upward. To practice the golden breath, inhale deeply through the nose for 4 seconds, filling the belly and chest with air. Hold the breath for 6 seconds, allowing the energy to rise from the lower chakras into the heart. Exhale slowly through the mouth for 8 seconds, releasing tension and allowing the energy to expand outward. This breath pattern activates the parasympathetic nervous system, relaxes the heart space, and stimulates subtle energy flow. If done correctly, after a few minutes, you may feel a gentle heat wave in the chest, a tingling sensation, or even a pulsing between the shoulder blades, signs that energy is beginning to activate. For best results, this breath should be done at a slow, relaxed pace, allowing the body to soften into the experience. But breath alone isn't always enough. To take this practice deeper, we need to use sound. In many spiritual traditions, sound is considered one of the most effective ways to activate and harmonize the chakras. The heart responds especially well to low, resonant tones, which create vibrations in the chest and help to open and expand energy flow. Two of the most powerful sounds for awakening the heart are ah and yam. The first sound, ah, expands the heart chakra. This is the same sound naturally made when experiencing deep pleasure or relief. It signals openness and surrender. To practice, take a deep breath in, and on the exhale, let out a long, soft ah. Imagine the vibration radiating through your chest, dissolving any tightness or tension. The second sound, yam, is the traditional mantra of the heart chakra. This sound synchronizes the brainwaves and heart waves, bringing them into harmony. To practice, inhale deeply and on the exhale, chant Yam, allowing the vibration to spread through your entire chest. This sound has been used for centuries to calm the nervous system, open emotional blockages, and deepen connection to the heart. If you combine this with the golden breath, the effects become even more powerful. But there's one more layer to deepening the experience, and that's movement. To reach a full heart orgasm faster, the key is to combine breath, sound, and physical stimulation in a way that encourages the body to fully surrender into bliss. There are 3 essential steps in this process. Slow chest massage. The heart is filled with nerve endings and pressure points that can be gently stimulated through touch. Soft, circular movements across the chest activate pleasure receptors, making it easier to feel energy rising. Deep breathing through the heart. Continue practicing the golden breath while massaging the chest, directing awareness into the expanding energy. This allows the sensations to build naturally. Gentle spinal rocking. Subtle forward and backward movements help mimic the natural flow of Kundalini energy. In many tantric traditions, this is used to assist the movement of orgasmic energy upward through the body. When breath, sound, and movement are combined, the body enters a natural rhythm of expansion, allowing the heart to open fully. At a certain point, the energy no longer needs to be guided. It takes on a life of its own, flowing freely, expanding outward, dissolving boundaries. And when that happens, the experience is no longer just about pleasure. It's a direct portal to something greater. So now that you understand how to unlock this state, the next step is putting it into practice. Whether alone or with a partner, these techniques can be explored gradually at your own pace. And remember, this isn't about forcing an outcome. It's about allowing the energy to move where it naturally wants to go. Because once you experience a heart orgasm, you realize something profound. It's not about a single moment of pleasure. It's about a new way of existing, one where bliss isn't something you seek, but something that flows through you effortlessly. Once you've experienced a heart orgasm, you'll never look at pleasure the same way again. It stops being just about the body. It becomes a gateway to something far greater. A portal to deep healing, expanded consciousness, and the purest form of energetic connection. This isn't just about experiencing pleasure. It's about transforming the way you relate to energy, to intimacy, and to yourself. It's about stepping into a new way of being, one where bliss is no longer something fleeting, but something that lives within you. And now I want to hear from you. Have you ever felt anything like this before? Maybe you've had glimpses of it, waves of pleasure that felt deeper than just the physical. Or maybe you're just starting this journey, curious about what's possible. Drop a comment below. Let's start a conversation. Your experience might be exactly what someone else needs to hear. And if you found this video insightful, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. It helps more people discover this knowledge and deepens our community of seekers exploring energy, mysticism, and spiritual transformation. Until next time, stay open, stay expansive, and keep flowing with the energy of the universe.